Chocolate crinkles. Any celebration, Christmas, Thanksgiving, a birthday, Diwali, an office party, or anything else gives you an opportunity to indulge in some of your favorite foods. That means chocolate to me. While I don't typically eat a lot of chocolate throughout the year, when December comes around, it's all go. For some reason, the brisk air and festive mood make me yearn for it. Because of that craving, I'm making tried and true treats like homemade hot chocolate, truffles, and chocolate peppermint bark cookies. Hello everyone and welcome to my channel. I'm Cookie and today we're going to be making chocolate crinkles, a classic and delicious holiday cookie that's perfect for gift giving or for sharing with friends and family. Let's get started. Growing up, I always loved chocolate cookies. They were my absolute favorite snack and I could never get enough of them. My mom used to make them from scratch and I always looked forward to helping her in the kitchen. We would mix together flour, sugar, and cocoa powder, and then add in the butter and eggs. The dough was always so gooey and delicious that I couldn't resist sneaking a few spoonfuls before it even made it into the oven. But the best part was when the cookies were finished baking and we got to enjoy them warm and gooey straight out of the oven. The rich chocolatey flavor was like nothing else, and I always begged my mom to make a batch just for me. As I grew older, I started to get more creative with my chocolate cookie obsession. I experimented with different recipes and variations, adding in things like nuts, sprinkles, and even chocolate chips to create new and unique flavors. I even started making my own cookies from scratch. So to me, chocolate cookies will always hold a special place in my heart. They bring back memories of happy times in my childhood, and they always bring a smile to my face. Whether I'm making them from scratch or indulging in a store-bought bag, I will always be grateful for the role chocolate cookies have played in my life. And that's exactly when I discovered these amazing chocolate crinkles. These cookies are made with cocoa powder, which gives them a rich, chocolatey flavor and a slightly chewy texture. They're also coated in powdered sugar, which gives them their signature crinkled appearance and adds a sweet, snowy touch. This recipe is super easy to follow and only requires a few simple ingredients that you probably already have in your pantry. So let's get started. Ingredients. First, you'll need 1 cup of natural unsweetened cocoa powder. Then I have here 1.5 cups of granulated sugar. Next, we have half a cup of vegetable oil. Also, 4 large eggs here. Then you'll also need 2 teaspoons of vanilla extract. Then obviously, 2 cups of all-purpose flour. 2 teaspoons of baking powder will also go in. And then we have here 1 teaspoon of espresso powder, optional, only half a teaspoon of kosher salt, and lastly, 1 cup of powdered sugar. First, preheat your oven to 350 degrees Fahrenheit and line a baking sheet with parchment paper. Now, I'll take a large mixing bowl and cream together the cocoa powder, vegetable oil, and sugar until smooth. Add in the eggs one at a time, beating well after each addition. Next, I'll mix in the vanilla extract until it looks well combined. Now in a separate bowl, I'll just whisk together the flour, baking powder, and salt. Gradually add this dry mixture into the wet mixture, stirring until just combined. Now, scoop the dough into 1-inch balls and roll them in powdered sugar until they are completely coated. Place the balls on a prepared baking sheet, leaving about 2 inches of space between each cookie. There is no denying that this dough is sticky. It really helps to chill it for at least 4 hours before shaping the cookies. So work quickly and wash your hands after putting each tray in the oven. And just for the cookie dough to thaw, I like to roll multiple balls of cookie dough at once and then coat them all in sugar. And trust me, a tiny cookie scoop makes things go more quickly. Now our cookies are ready to bake, and I'll let them bake for 10 to 12 minutes or until I see the edges are set and the tops are slightly cracked. And I think they look just like that. I'll remove them from the oven and let them cool on a baking sheet for about 5 minutes before transferring them to a wire rack to cool completely. And that's it. These chocolate crinkles are the perfect combination of chocolatey and sweet, and they're so easy to make. They're great for holiday parties, cookie swaps, or just for indulging in a sweet treat on a cozy winter day. You can also mix things up by adding different mix-ins like nuts, sprinkles, or chocolate chips to customize your cookies to your liking. And if you're feeling extra festive, you can even roll the dough balls in red and green sprinkles for a fun holiday twist. If you love these soft and fudgy cookies as much as I do, then you know how hard it can be to resist eating them all at once. That's why it's important to know how to properly store and freeze them so you can enjoy them for longer periods of time. First, let's talk about storing chocolate crinkles. The best place to store these cookies is in an airtight container at room temperature. You can use a plastic or glass container with a tight-fitting lid, or you can use a resealable plastic bag. If you're using a container, make sure to layer the cookies between parchment or wax paper to prevent them from sticking together. If you're using a bag, try to squeeze out as much air as possible before sealing it shut. It's also important to store your chocolate crinkles away from any strong odors, as they can absorb these smells and change their flavor. So make sure you keep them away from your trash can, your spices, and any other strong-smelling items. Now let's talk about freezing chocolate crinkles. If you have a large batch of these cookies and you want to freeze some for later, here's what you need to do. First, let the cookies cool completely before freezing them. Then, place them in a single layer on a baking sheet and place the sheet in the freezer for about an hour. This will help the cookies firm up and will prevent them from sticking together. Once the cookies are frozen, you can transfer them to an airtight container or a resealable plastic bag. Make sure to label the container or bag with a date so you know how long they've been in the freezer. To thaw frozen chocolate crinkles, remove the desired number of cookies from the freezer and let them sit at room temperature for about an hour. You can also place them in the refrigerator for a few hours or microwave them for about 15 seconds on the defrost setting. And that's it! Now you know how to store and freeze your chocolate crinkles to enjoy them for longer periods of time. Just remember to keep them in an airtight container or bag, away from strong odors, and label the container with the date if you're freezing them. We hope you enjoyed this recipe and give these chocolate crinkles a try. If you do, be sure to let us know how they turned out in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more recipe ideas and inspiration. Happy baking!